Hey everyone, it's me, that guy Noodles. When I started this YouTube channel, I wanted it to be a place where we could all hang out together and have fun. But you know what's not fun? Taking an arrow to the chest. Don't shoot arrows into people. And if you are doing it, stop it. Get some help. Listen, shooting the Carrick unprovoked was wrong, and it wasn't the only mistake I made. So we would like to take this opportunity to demonstrate what you should do if you ever find yourself in these sorts of situations. Don't take weapons from people you don't know. It might be dangerous to go alone, but strangers can be even more dangerous. If you find an unusual mask that seems to be abandoned, leave it where it is, and tell an adult right away. Don't put the mask on, especially if it tells you to by whispering into your mind. If you're ever confronted by a smelly half-man, half-pig, don't kill him on sight. Try to make friends. You'd be surprised what a little kind... Oh no. Oh no! Making friends can be difficult. If you offer your potential friend a cold drink, the two of you Oh no. Okay, let's have a nice conversation. Getting to know your new friend might... Oh, God. Okay, you know what? Just kill him. He stinks, and I don't like him.
Roast carrot.
Hey, welcome back. It's just Noodles. So, when we left off, I was in the middle of my repeasanting. Quick plot recap. Rizzler Dashing here was off swimming in the boiling waters of Scalding Lake. So when Trogdor burninated his place down, he lost his normal peasant clothes and is currently stuck in his vacation gear. The hot lake water seems to have washed away his natural peasant musk, and he's not on fire. Maybe the lake put him out. Maybe he's just never been on fire before. Very few people regularly set their heads on fire. It's mostly just Arthur Brown, Griff, Sigrid, Ghost Rider. Anyway, at the end of the last part, I ganked the Carrick and I ganked his smelly belt. So my odor has gone from pleasant to peasant. If I had a nickel for every time a Homestar Runner game required me to make somebody smell bad, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Next up, I have to get new clothes and set them on fire while wearing them. You might think that this rain would be a hindrance to that last part, but it actually sets off a chain of events that makes the puzzles fairly straightforward from here. So let's go. Ooh, there's some lovely filth over here. Now you've done it. You're covered in sticky, albeit fine-smelling mud. Your Scalding Lake t-shirt is all soiled too. You just washed it last harvest. I do appreciate how they specifically point out that the mud smells good. Otherwise, I mean, I haven't seen a bathroom anywhere, and this muddle of pud looks like it might be the former site of, poor Gary's special fertilizer. I do enjoy a good muddy scent, though. Petrichor? There's a good word for you, petrichor. Use it in a sentence and people will think you're either smart or a Doctor Who fan, or both. You've not known much better than a roll in the hay alone. Roll, roll, roll in the hay. You leap into the hay like a 2-year-old boy. Uh-oh. The hay sticks to your muddy body. You're a walking hay bale, just like that one guy from that one show. Who are we talking, Cousin It? Wurzel Gummidge? Rory Calhoun? Hey, nice disguise. The Junka doesn't seem to notice you. Ooh, I see the riches. I'm gonna slurp them up through this haystack's ventral radula. Uh-oh. A stiff breeze blew all the hay and surprisingly the mud off of you. You take my riches, growls the Junka. No? Okay. Let me know if you see riches anywhere. He grunts and goes back to his hopping. You smooth talker, you.
You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Yeah, Jonkas aren't very smart. This tracks with their monster manual lore, as well as their tendency to forget to sign emails.
Thanks, your friend. And there's no name. Thanks, your friend, Chonka.
Oh, I liked it better when it was raining. The atmosphere was nice, it gave me an excuse to talk about Petrichor. It increased the damage of water-type moves by 50%. You know, I never looked at these tracks. If you weren't a simpleton, you might think these were Carrick prints. But since you are a simpleton, you just go, yay, piggies! Ooh, berries. You know what they say about the definition of insanity? You've searched your fill of berry bushes for this game. If you want to search more, press reload on the browser. Okay. Welcome back to my channel, Just Berries. This gag was a lot funnier before the reality of how long reloading would take hit. Editor? I say editor, it's just me. Editor, can you fast forward for the good people? No, too far, too far. There we go, welcome back. Ooh, berries. You know what they say about the definition of I'm kidding? I'm kidding. Alright, I got your riches. So, I was wondering, like, now that you're single, if you want to hang out together sometime, we maybe go for dinner sometime? I can see you like chicken feed. I like chicken feed. I mean, I get it if you don't want to give out your number. I'm on Peasants Only. If you have a profile, I don't know if are you on Peasants Only? Or like, do you have an Only Peasants I could subscribe to? I'm sorry, this is very unprofessional of me as a do-gooder, so here's your riches. My riches! She screams and snatches up every last gold coin. Thanks, sucker. Here you go. She shoves the baby into your hands and bolts out the door. You later learn that she does this all the time and is wanted throughout the countryside. Those riches probably were the Jonkas, and who knows whose baby that is. Well, it's yours now. Oh my goodness, I'm a mommy now. Aw, peasant babies are adorable. No wonder they fetch such a pretty penny on the black market. But to me, as this child's legal guardian, semi-legal guardian, he means more to me than just monetary value. Because this little guy is the key to 100% completion. Guys, gals, and other pals, it's time to unleash the forbidden knowledge of... baby secrets. And I'm not talking about where they come from, because I'm not entirely sure. Baby secret number 1.
We throw the child.
That's right, everybody. We're going to be pulling a Miss Susie. Or a Miss Lucy. I forget who had the steamboat and who had the baby. Anyway, yeet! Oop. Told you the screen is finicky. Yeet! Something tells you this is a good idea, and you lob the little one into the lake. And now the video thumbnail is probably making a bit more sense to some of you. So those of you who didn't know about this before now, you are probably wondering how in the name of King Graham anyone is supposed to figure out how to do this. After all, I have been joking about how not subtle the puzzles are in this game, especially compared to King's Quest, which is a little infamous for its, interesting applications of logic. Actually, it occurs to me that I've kind of neglected to talk about King's Quest before now, so let's do that real quick. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail, but the King's Quest series was created by Roberta Williams, who is the co-founder/co-owner of Sierra Online. She more or less created the blueprint for fantasy text adventure games and later point-and-click adventure games, and the basic format of the game was also reused for other Sierra games like Space Quest, Police Quest, and I swear I'm not making this one up, a remake of a game called Soft Porn Adult Entertainment Adventure. You might know it as Leisure Suit Larry. Homestar Runner fans might know it as the source of Allie and Allie's sister.
Allie? Allie's sister? Allie? Allie's sister?
Back on task. The King's Quest series took place in the fantastical kingdom of Daventry and the surrounding lands. The first game was about Graham's quest to become king. Later games would not just star him, but also members of his royal family. Those of you already familiar with King's Quest have no doubt noticed that the interface of Peasant's Quest is pretty much one-to-one with King's Quest. And there's a lot of details they have in common, like the sound design, character design, the lack of music, and a lot of the actual details of the layout of peasantry are nods to the game as well. Look at that lake. That's a nice looking lake. Here's a goat friend, just like our perfect horse friend, poor Gary. Except this goat is stupid, and I can't actually pet him, and if I feed him the carrot, he just eats it and ignores me, and I hate him so much! There's even a useless rock to look at.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
But as I said a few seconds ago, where these games could not be more different is the puzzles. You've seen me what? Loosen a crank, scare a horse, steal treasure, murder a stinky pig man? Right now, very briefly, I want to compare these to the most infamous puzzle in King's Quest I, the Gnome. To receive a gift from this mysterious individual, he wants you to guess his name. But what's really going to puzzle you is the nature of his game, because you see, it's not going to be as simple as you might think. Now, this little guy's shtick might seem familiar. Since a lot of King's Quest I is based on references to fairy tales, you'll probably type in Rumpelstiltskin. Incorrect! But that's okay, you have a total of 3 attempts to guess his name, and you have 2 guesses left. Alright, so you're sitting there thinking, there must be a way to figure out his name using clues that are actually in the game. And that is, in fact, correct. There is a single clue as to the gnome's name, in the form of a note in the witch's gingerbread house. The note reads, "Sometimes it is wise to think backwards." So now let's assume that you somehow know that this random note is supposed to be your only hint to figuring out the gnome's name. So a little light bulb goes off in your head. This makes sense. Because think about it. How do the rules work for that other little magic man who's defeated by his own name?
You make me say, spell, or otherwise reveal my name backwards, and I'll split.
So you go back to the gnome, and you confidently type in, and there goes your second guess. You're back to square one. You ready? I know you're not ready, but are you ready? This is how you're expected to go about solving the riddle of the gnome's name. The nomenclature, if you will, but please don't. Alright, so first of all, you have to assume that his name has something to do with Rumpelstiltskin, and if you guessed Rumpelstiltskin already, the game tells you you're on the right track, so this isn't so bad. From there, not only do you have to find the note in the witch's house, but you must correctly deduce that it has something to do with solving this gnome's name. That's just our starting point. To go from here, you have to have a pen and paper handy. Now that's not unreasonable because the manual itself suggests you draw a map out of Daventry and take notes when interesting things happen, so you are expected to have pen and paper handy. That's not unreasonable. This is unreasonable. Step 1, write the alphabet out forwards. Step 2, write the alphabet out backwards. Step 3, write out the name Rumpelstiltskin, spelled this way and not the traditional way of Rumpelstiltskin. Step 4, convert the letters in Rumpelstiltskin from the forwards alphabet to the backwards alphabet. So like A becomes Z, B becomes Y, C becomes X, etc., etc. If you convert each letter in the name Rumpelstiltskin, you deduce the gnome's true name, Iffenkov-Grogperm, which is also my non-existent cousin Grog's full first name. Now let's compare that to the hardest puzzle I've encountered in Peasant's Quest so far, which was just figuring out that I had to disguise myself as a hay bale after falling in the mud. Well, falling in the mud was automatic, and the game tells you you're cleverly disguised if you go one screen south after you jump in the hay. I don't want to say that Peasant's Quest is holding your hand, but Peasant's Quest is holding your hand. Now, to be 100% fair, when they were designing the King's Quest games, they had a hint line you could call. It was a 900 number, which means 75 cents for the first minute and 50 cents each minute after that. Because before paid DLC was a thing, they would just put almost impossible puzzles in the game, and they more or less charged you for the solution. It was the original pay to win. So I haven't found anything to confirm or deny this 100%, but according to legend, eventually, if you called up the Sierra hint line, they would just tell you the name of the gnome before asking if you had any other questions. And I think that's pretty decent of them, because this is a puzzle the Riddler would say is too challenging. So, having said all that, how does this game expect somebody to figure out to throw the baby into the lake? What, do I call the Videlectrix hint line? For Videlectrix, the fictional game company in the Homestar Runner universe? Well, obviously I can't do that, because their hint line sucks.
Okay, if you're stuck in one of our award-winning adventure-type games, what you're gonna want to do is take every one of your items and then use it with every other item until you find the right answer.
I don't think you can combine items in this game. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Oh, I don't know. Just use your clicker on everything. It'll solve itself eventually.
No, it's a text adventure. There's no... Do you have any hints that, work?
I didn't fight in 3 console wars to take that attitude from snot-nosed little... These hints are the best that 99 cents a minute can buy!
Okay, just how much do I owe you?
That'll be $149.95. How you want to pay for it?
So instead of that dead end, let's go back to the trailer they released in 2004.
Make your way through the lush 16-color landscapes of peasantry using our state-of-the-art text commands and interface. Featuring
You saw that, right? You saw that! Berries! Also, baby tossing. The idea was you saw the trailer when it came out, and when the game comes out, you say, I wonder if I can actually do that. I kind of like it when games break the fourth wall to hint at bonus secrets like this. Because after all, these secrets aren't actually necessary to finish the game. They're only necessary for... Well, we'll get to that later. Oh good, he survived. You won't be arrested after all. The little guy has resurfaced safely, carrying an old bottle of soda. You take the soda and stow your swaddling buddy for takeoff. Let's check on our first secret item. A full bottle of popular soda. Apparently it's literally just Sprite. Is Sprite popular? I think of it as like obligatory, like when you have Coke products, it's something you have to have. Haven't seen Ned for a... Whoa! There are large hoof prints in the grass here. Looks like someone left their spare bones here. Yeesh. Big guy decomposed pretty quick-alike. So, I'm going in the wrong direction, so let's fast forward to... Baby secret number 2. Put the baby in the bucket. Okay, Father of the Year. You put a baby in a bucket, and it quickly descends deep into the well. Yours is a black, black heart. What? No, I'm supervising. You haul the bucket back up. Lucky for you, the baby is still in it and appears to be unscathed. As a bonus, looks like you found a meatball sub down there. Score! You take the sub. Oh, and the baby. You take the baby. I would make a reference to baby Jessica, but that happened before I was born. But before we can uncover the third, we need to go back to the lake. I'm doing this in a dumb order, and I'm sorry. Remember this guy? No, remember the other thing about this guy? He needs new bait. And I just happen to have large handfuls of corn in my pants. These two statements are related. You toss the feed into the lake. You shed a tear for each one. Goodbye, Monty, you sniff. Bye, Delga, Rasputin. Farewell, Combledon, and so forth. Whoa! That crotchety old man just caught a pantload of fish. Now I can get back to running the inn, he says, and rows to shore and hauls his boat out and cleans guts and fillets all the fish and a bunch of other stuff we didn't animate. Oh, why didn't you animate any of that? I'm not upset, I'm just concerned, because I've heard some stories from behind the scenes of Videlectrix, man.
I come to work and I have to look at this mess!
I can make good graphics.
You better make good graphics!
But now we can head inside the inn for... El secreto del bebé, número 3.
What a dump.
Only one bed and no minibar? The innkeeper stands behind a desk and there's a door that's closed. Alright, so I throwed the baby, I stowed the baby, and now I'm gonna showed the baby. Well, look at that little guy, says the innkeeper. You want a treat, do you? What are babies like? He fishes around in his pockets. What, are you gonna give him fish? How about my medication? You grab the bottle of pills before he can force them on the baby. Hey, those were for him! Well, looks like I'm not the worst babysitter in peasantry. Oh, I forgot to look at the sub. A piping hot meatball sub, fresh from the bottom of a dingy old well. All you need is a bag of chips and you've got a combo meal. Don't get me started on Subway combo. Nope, okay, nope, I'm started. Here I go. But I have nothing bad to say about Jersey Mike's, other than I wish it was closer than an hour or two away from me. Oh, and their cream soda tastes a little funny to me. Man, I could go for some Jersey Mike's. Hashtag not sponsored. Although, Jersey Mike's, if you're listening, I'll do a commercial for free, but only if I get to meet Danny DeVito. The innkeeper's medication says it's supposed to treat general oldness, may cause checkers playing, hiked up pants, and overall pee smell. Aren't those the symptoms of general oldness? Whatever, I'm not a doctor. Let's see what the pill pusher has to say. If you're interested in staying the night, just type get a room. Get a room, you one. I only serve peasants here, fancy pants, barks the old guy. Where's your robe? Short pants are fancy? Well then, I guess that's next on the list. There must be a robe somewhere, and I'm gonna prove this logically. After all, we know that there's a naked guy hanging around, right? So if we know that there is a man not wearing clothes, it stands to reason that there must also somewhere be clothes that are not being worn. Yeah, that's logic. So, you remember this cottage, right? With the shoddy stonework? So let's move the stone that looks suspiciously different from the rest of them, like this was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. You slide the stone over to reveal a little hole. If only you could cut off your arms, legs, and head, you might be able to squeeze through. Well, I'm not gonna just do that, obviously. So now that I've saved, now I'm gonna cut off my arms, legs, and head. Very funny. You have trouble cutting out coupons in the weekly Peasant Penny Pincher circular. I'd like to see you try. Challenge accepted, bro. Okay, fine. You try to cut off your hard-earned extremities, it doesn't work. You dead, thanks for nothing. Not sure what I expected. You know, to be fair, that's not the dumbest way to die in this game. This is the dumbest way to die. That wasn't very smart. You dead. Okay, now that we've gotten that particular silliness out of the way, it's time for this particular silliness. This is the actual use for the baby.
Insert a baby.
Deploying Q baby. Haha! I have Rube Goldberg'd my way to success, and he has Baby's Day outed his way to freedom. Way to go, baby! It got the cottage door opened and headed off to a new life. He becomes valedictorian of his graduating class, goes to Scalding Lake State, gets a degree in advanced peasantry, and lands a job at Thatch Pro, building better cottages for a better tomorrow. I could have used a better cottage yesterday. You grow apart, and the letters from him become fewer and fewer. He develops a severe mead problem and blames you for never being there. Oh no, I'm a deadbeat dad. I've only had him less than a day. Let's open this up. There's a vintage peasant robe in there, just like Grandpa used to wear. It's going right in my pants. Yeah, get that robe. Let's take a look. A proper peasant robe. It smells freshly washed and has the initials NN sewn into the tag. The mystery deepens. I'll wear your grandpa's robe. You slip into the vintage robe. It smells like Grandpa's lap. Now you're looking like a serious peasant. Yeah, I like it. That robe does seem snuggly. I dare say he's looking rather dashing. I do have a few questions about the smell, since it was mentioned to smell both freshly washed and like Grandpa's lap. So I'm just going to assume it smells like Grandpa's freshly washed lap. Ooh, berry. Nah, I'm kidding. The time for berries is over. Now is the time for sleep. Wait, get a room. I want to get a room, not talk. Okay, youngster, says the decrepit old person. Just bed on down for the night, and I'm sure I'll remember to collect the fee come morning. Uh-oh. I traded all my money for that baby. Night falls like a bad PowerPoint presentation. Do people still make PowerPoint presentations? I would always make the best ones, the best presentations when I was in high school. I'd add, like, jokes and cool transitions, and, you know, nobody cared. What is that, my third tangent? That's gonna be my last one. What an uncomfortable bed! You sleep for maybe 20 minutes before the extreme pain in your spine forces you to get up. That happened to me with a cot once. It's still dark out. The grimy old innkeeper is gone, and he's left the pantry open. Before I do anything else, I think we can all agree I need to look at that painting. It's a painting of dogs playing Magic the Nerdening. Yeah, I was a Pokemon kid myself. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Duel Monsters or Cublepon or whatever. Shelves and shelves of something called Old Man Rub. The only thing of interest is a big black pot of horse grease on the top shelf. Hey, I've heard that stuff gives a nice controlled burn, so let's get you— wait. Horse grease. No. No, not Gary! No! No, Gary! You can't— no, what? It's full of horse grease. I guess that sounds useful. Why would you do that to Gary? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. I know he ran through the fence. He didn't mean to break the fence. I made him run through the fence. Because I put on the mask and I was scared. Oh, maybe it's grease for a horse. Let me look this up. What is horse grease? Oh, it keeps horses from chewing on stuff. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Anyway, let's steal some. You reach way up to the top shelf. Uh-oh, things are getting a little wacky. Oh, great. Now you can't see a thing, and your head is covered in highly flammable horse grease. You better get out of here before that disgusting old man comes back. Well, that's actually going to be easier said than done, because now that the horse grease is on my head, it's done weird things to the controls, so I gotta figure out which, there we go. Phew. You discard the big black pot and wipe the horse grease from your eyes. The hood of your robe is still covered in highly flammable horse grease, though. Okay, so now I just need some fire. Oh, I'll borrow this lantern so I can look for some. Whoa! The horse grease on your robe caught fire! You're a for-real peasant now. And that's it! I am the most peasantest. I'm a stinky man in a flamin' robe, and I think I just came up with my next D&D character. It might be the dead of night, but it's the moment of truth. Except the moment of truth is gonna have to happen in the next video, but that's gonna be the finale. That's gonna be the finale. Yeah. Okay, bye. Alright, before we get to the ending stats, I have a few things to say. First of all, holy crap, you guys, I was not expecting the reaction that first video got. I'm gonna level with you. I thought I was only gonna get like 5 views on that first video, and all of them from relatives, but I have been blown away by the reception. So, once again, thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everyone who watched my first video. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments, just thank you so much. And next, I would like to apologize for a mistake on my part. So, in the first video, I asked you all to guess what games I was borrowing music from. One of those games was the Galactic Adventures expansion for Spore. which apparently took some of its in-game music from royalty-free music CDs. So I don't actually know how many games that music has been in. The tracks in question were used during my ill-fated attempts at archery, so those don't count. The rest of the music comes from a different game, and nobody has correctly guessed it yet, so I will give you all 2 hints. It's a real-time strategy game that, as of this date, isn't on the TV Tropes list of RTS games. And in its home country, it's a sequel. Outside of its home country, it has 2 different English titles, depending on the region. At my sister's request, I will play this game on my channel someday, but not until somebody who is not her correctly identifies the game. And no cheating. My final announcement, I'm on social media now. You can find me under the account name It's Just Noodles on Blue Sky, Instagram, and that other one. You know, the one that used to have a real name and real people on it. And that's it. On to the stats.
Baby secret number 4.
So this isn't so much a baby secret as it is a baby glitch. When you put the baby in the bucket, you're expected to bring it back up and get the meatball sub, right? Well, due to a programming oversight, you can put the baby in the bucket as many times as you want without actually taking it out. And you get points every time. So this is the easiest way to rack up absurd high scores. Yep, putting the baby in the bucket. This is making a little bucket, baby. Yeah, you're going in the bucket, baby. Yep, I hope you like that bucket. Yeah, get that bucket. Be in the bucket. Be a little bucket, baby. Perfect name on the form. Put the baby in the bucket. And keep it warm. Take your dad's name off your docket. Put your worries in the weather. Put the baby in the bucket. Let's spend the night together. I might have actually gone a little crazy here. You know what they say about the definition of